Um, Sports during childhood can be quite a good opportunity for your child not only to grow physically and mentally, but also socially. Um, I remember when I was a kid, I was super big into baseball and how my dad helped out with that and started getting me more into it is he just played catch with me. I think that's the big starting point for just trying to get in to sports as a kid and as a parent to help them explore and see what they like sports wise. It's just like doing those simple things, playing catch, going and shooting hoops. Like it doesn't really have to be anything big, but doing those simple things can help the child kind of explore their interests. And like obviously there are some great physical benefits of this. They're getting physical activity. They're moving. They're developing muscles. Mentally, I think it's a great thing too, just because you're getting outside. You're being physically active and you're doing things that make you feel good. And feeling good physically equates to feeling good mentally too in most cases. With like sports organizations and maybe doing like a rec team, it also um, there's a social aspect that comes into play as well because your child's learning to communicate with others, talking with others. It again, it's not really very complex. It's not like your college sports or your like NBA and stuff like that. It's just simple fun for children to learn the different sports, but also just to have those opportunities to grow physically, mentally, and socially when they start talking with their teammates and communicating during games. I think the best way to get into it is like through rec leagues. Like my siblings, all of them have either done like rec basketball or recreational soccer, and that's an easy starting point. I guess if you are like super super into it and your child really enjoys it, you can maybe do a club. But I think a recreational type organization is the best starting point for a child who's interested in sports. And again, there's all these different benefits. There could be some challenges within it. I never remember any specific challenges when I was doing it, but nowadays it seems like everyone's parents think their kid's going to become like the next LeBron James. So, like, if your kid's just going to have fun and there's just this one kid or parent that just is a little too into it, I could see that being a big barrier, but also being like a big turnoff for children wanting to play sports and also parents going and watching. Like, it's hard for me to go and watch sometimes, but like, it's just discouraging for a kid to be like yelled at essentially for trying to learn a sport. I remember when I was in high school, I refed, and for like first, second grade, like you weren't, we were told that you shouldn't really be calling calls unless it's like repeated offenses. If the kid travels one time, don't call it. But if he does it over and over again, yeah, call it and then teach him what to do. But I guess a lot of parents just don't understand that. So I can see that being like a major turnoff and a barrier to just wanting to a child to get into a sport or just playing a sport in general. Like it, it's just discouraging overall. And I think another barrier too is just like some of those recreational teams. It's a good starting point, but some of them again just start getting a little too competitive. Like it's good to have a good time and be a little competitive, but it's not the end of the world if you lose a game or something goes wrong. Like the point of recreational sports and sports during childhood is just to have a good time, explore your interests, and also just make those developments physically, mentally, and socially. It's a great starting point just for kids in all three of those categories. And who knows, maybe in the future your kid does become the next LeBron James, but you'll never know if you never try. And I think that's just the main takeaway. It's just trying it out, exploring your different interests, and allowing your child to grow in those categories.